Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lords of the Night. With me, as always, your Lord of Punishment. Say hi, Scribe.
Hi, Scribe.
And your Lord of Penny. Say hello, Satsu.
What up, Dad?
And I am your Lord of Pain, the Ranting Monkey, and we're here to entertain you for the next 2 hours. And if you're not entertained at the end of this, that's your fault, not ours. How you guys doing tonight? How you doing, Scribbles?
I'm okay. It was a relatively sedate day at work today, which was nice. So I'll take that over the alternative.
And Satsu, how you doing?
I'm doing really good. I'm very happy with the apartments that we looked at today, and depending on how things go, tomorrow I might just go ahead and do the shit I need to do to get one or the other.
Cool. I hope.
How are you, Monkey?
Oh, let's not talk about that again.
Okay. Never mind then. Fuck you, Monkey.
No, I appreciate the ask, but it just depresses me. I feel it'll depress others. So I did get to take a unscheduled nap with my woman today, and that was kind of nice. We haven't done that in forever. We both settled in. We were watching some House season 1 and drifted off to sleep.
Oh.
Let's get this out of the way. Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit the like button, y'all, and share our stuff because, you know, YouTube, who you think would really want to advertise people making stuff on their platform, doesn't seem to really care much. So if you guys could do that for us, it would be much appreciated. Before we get into the news, I got to say, from what I've seen of the news today, it's kind of depressing.
Just a little bit, yeah.
We have a birthday.
Already?
No, and now it just got more depressing.
Adam Mangold in chat says it's his birthday.
What?
Adam has been with us for a while, so I feel like we need to make sure that this one is special for Adam.
Special, you say? I can do special.
Let's do some special birthday cheers for Adam. Adam, this one, my friend, is for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
I'm too sleepy for this shit.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Adam.
Happy birthday, dear Adam Mango.
Adam Mango.
Scribe broke. Oh, shit.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Adam. I hope it was a great one. I really do. Oh, man. So you guys have anything to talk about before we get into the news?
I'm drinking Snapple.
I've been very popular on Twitter today, but we'll get to that later.
Oh, yeah.
So we have Snapple and Twitter. So really nothing to get into before we get into the news, huh?
No, not at all, really.
All right. Scribbles, what do we got for news today?
Well, do you like Virginia?
Oh, man, what a shit show that place is turning into.
Yeesh.
Well, I've got a double threat today because not only do I have a breakdown of what's going on with the Virginia Democratic Party, but it comes from our favorite friend at CNN, Chris Cillizza.
Oh, yay.
The complete and utter collapse of Virginia's Democratic Party.
Okay.
Not to overstate the case or anything.
No.
Let's see. That sound you hear is Virginia's Democratic Party collapsing on itself. In the last 6 days, the following things have happened. 1, Governor Ralph Northam said he was in a picture in his medical school yearbook of 2 people, one in blackface, the other in KKK robes. He then recanted and said that he wasn't in that picture, but he added that he had darkened his face to look more like Michael Jackson for a dance contest in 1984. 2, a woman named Vanessa Tyson accused Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax of assaulting her during the 2004 Democratic National Convention in Boston. Fairfax angrily denied the allegations. Then on Wednesday, Tyson released a statement in which he said in part, quote, "What began as consensual kissing quickly turned into sexual assault," unquote.
Before we move on, because those are the ones we know. Corey, thank you so much. Says Scribe is cheating on Dr. Pepper. Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, no. It's just that I had a Snapple available and I don't have any Dr. Pepper right now.
Oh, is that
I needed something to drink. So.
Dr. Pepper cheated on him.
Yeah.
Hey, Squishy, this other chick was just available, She,
You weren't here.
Let's see. 3. State Attorney General Mark Herring, in a statement released Wednesday morning, acknowledged that he, too, had appeared in blackface at a party. Quote, "In 1980, when I was a 19-year-old undergraduate in college, some friends suggested we attend a party dressed like rappers we listened to at the time, like Curtis Blow, and perform a song," Herring said. Now, if you don't understand the significance of that, the governor, his immediate successor, the lieutenant governor, and the successor to the successor of the governor have all now been embroiled in racial or sexual misconduct.
Yeah, we have blackface, sexual assault, blackface. Good job. It's like the worst poker hand ever.
The morally superior somehow.
The champions of black people and women. Good job.
Let's see. Chris Saliza goes on. What period? The period? Actual period? Hell period?
I wish you would have said fuck.
Yeah, I know, right? It's
Chris,
hard to
pussy.
It's hard to process this chain of events. Not really, but anyway.
No.
In the immediate aftermath of the blackface KKK picture that may or may not have featured Northam, the writing appeared to be on the wall. He needed to go. Every major national Democrat this side of Barack Obama called for Northam to step aside, as did many of Northam's longtime allies, including former Virginia governors Tim Kaine and Terry McAuliffe. The rush to get Northam was due, in part, to what appeared to be an elegant solution. Fairfax, the 39-year-old African-American lieutenant governor, seemed ready, willing, and able to take over. That quick succession plan took a major hit with the allegation from Tyson, and the subsequent, largely behind-the-scenes finger pointing between forces aligned with Fairfax, Northam, and Democratic Richmond mayor. Okay. The words confused me there for a second. Democratic Richmond Mayor LeVar Stoney over who leaked the Fairfax allegation. That alone was enough to create something very close to total chaos in the Virginia Democratic Party, which has been ascendant in recent years, having held the governorship for all but 4 years since 2001, and now controlling both of the state's U.S. Senate seats and 7 of the state's 11 congressional districts. But the Herring news, i.e. the AG, on top of everything else, made for a full sky-is-falling moment among Virginia Democrats. And for somewhat good reason. The party's top 3 elected officials in the state are now in varying levels of political distress. All 3 are damaged, although it remains to be seen how badly. Then there's this. If all 3 resign, the Speaker of the Virginia House of Delegates, Republican Kirk Cox, would be the next in line to take over. But wait, there's more. Cox is Speaker solely because Republican David Yancey won a state House seat in early 2018 when his name was picked out of a bowl. Yes, this really happened.
Nate, love you.
The implications of this stunning series of events could be considerable in both Virginia and the rest of the country.
He became Speaker when his name was picked out of a bowl?
Yes. No, he won a state House seat.
Oh,
he wasn't
that's
even elected.
Not even better. Okay, all right.
He wasn't even elected to his position.
Real quick, Jar Jar, thank you so much. So when did the Dems in Virginia finally decide to come out of the Aryan closet? Well, someone forced them out. Somebody forced them out.
Let's see. Virginia holds state legislative elections this November, and prior to the past 5 days, Democrats believe they were in strong shape to take over majorities in both the state House and state Senate. Plus, Virginia is the only state in the country that limits its governors to a single term, meaning that no matter what happens, there will be an open seat race in 2021. And now Fairfax and Herring, 2 likely contenders for that job, are in the midst of scandals. It's less clear how much residual damage, if any, Stoney, who has gubernatorial ambitions, suffers from all of this. Nationally, Democrats have sought to adopt a zero-tolerance policy towards allegations of sexual assault and race amid allegations of race?
Allegations of race. You have a race, damn it.
Allegations of sexual assault and maybe like racial controversy?
Racism, maybe?
Yeah, racism, sexual assault, and race. Okay, amid the Trump presidency and the Me Too movement. To have not one, not two, but three statewide elected officials in a swing state battling a variety of these charges, and with none currently signaling they will step aside, is a political nightmare for the party writ large. There's a tendency in politics, especially with Trump in the White House, to insist that nothing like this has ever happened before. In most cases, that's a significant exaggeration. The situation in Virginia is not one of those cases. Chris, how many times have you said nothing like this has ever happened before in relation to Trump stuff? Seriously.
And how many times has he acknowledged that it was a willful exaggeration?
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, it's funny how like certain situations snap him into reality.
Yeah.
That's so funny, man.
Virginia, what the fuck are you doing, man?
It's not what they're doing. It's what they did 30 years ago or 12 years ago or whatever.
They're doing this to each other now.
Mm-hmm.
Because you had the assault or the allegation that came out against the governor of the yearbook photo. And then was it a week later? Not even a full week that we had the sexual assault allegations, which, by the way, are an old allegation. These ones were actually known a while ago, and he said he's addressed it before, but it's been brought back up, which would have given it to the AG. And suddenly they're asking him, have you ever done blackface? And you're like, yeah. It's the Democrats doing this to themselves right now. It's like it's a Game of Thrones going on, and they've just dethroned themselves, basically. They can't. If they let these guys slip, all three of them, Virginia politics can never again use the hashtag #MeToo or bitch about blackface. I mean, that becomes a okay thing to have done.
Or at least a tolerable one.
Yeah.
Well, can you do with some more, Chris Cillizza?
Or this is 5 things about Trump?
No.
Okay, sure then.
Elizabeth Warren's Native American problem just got even worse.
Oh
God, this was great.
For months, Elizabeth Warren has struggled to get from under the muddled and occasionally contradictory story she has told about her own belief in her Native American heritage and whether she ever either claimed that background on documents or received any sort of advantage from it. On Tuesday, Warren's claims took a major hit. The Washington Post reported on a Texas bar registration card from 1986 in which, clearly and apparently in her own hand, the Massachusetts Democrat had written American Indian when asked to identify her race. Neither Warren nor her office denied either the authenticity of the document nor that it was the senator's signature on it. Quote, "I can't go back," Warren told the Post in an interview Tuesday, "but I am sorry for furthering confusion on tribal sovereignty and tribal citizenship and harm that resulted." That's not what that is, Elizabeth. You claiming a race that you don't belong to is not confusing tribal sovereignty and tribal citizenship. That's just you lying.
No, it was confusing. Let me get these real quick because they're from the last one. Thank you, Jar Jar Binks. Sadly, all hail Virginia governor and the new progressive Reich. Yeah. And Cryptic, thank you. I expect nothing less from the party of slavery, Jim Crow, and segregation. Thank you, guys. Is she trying to suggest that this was just? Well, I know she said, this is what I was told by my family.
Right.
Is she suggesting this is accidental?
I don't know. I'm confused by her answer in saying that she's furthering confusion on tribal sovereignty and tribal citizenship. I mean, if it was the case that back in 1986, everything I had been told by my family to that point was X, and that's what I proceeded with. I have since learned that is not the case, and I'm doing my best to correct that error. That's what I would have said.
But and I get that. I think you're probably right. That's the best she could do to save face.
Mm-hmm.
But bitch, you're white, and so is your family, and you know it. You're looking at your white ass family, the ones who, as soon as they step into the sun, burst into blisters, and you're telling me you thought they were native. Real quick, thank you, Connor Johnson. I watched David Lynch's Blue Velvet for the first time, and I absolutely adored it to the point where it's become my 4th favorite film from the 1980s. I've never seen Blue
Velvet. Well, you know, was that Dennis Hopper's one, or was that? Yeah, I think it was Dennis Hopper. Where it's like in dreams, and he's like snuffing the laughing gas or whatever. Yeah, that's a weird movie.
I've never seen it. I've heard of it many times throughout my life, but
it's like a precursor to Twin Peaks in a lot of ways.
Elizabeth Warren, just shut the hell up. Apologize one more time. Just get it all out and let it die. She just keeps making it worse.
I don't think this one was her fault. Who dug this information up?
The Post.
Well, yeah, the Washington Post.
Yeah. Because I don't think she brought it up or anything. I think somebody was just like, we need to look further into this. And she's like, fuck.
Well, yeah, but she just apologized the same day that Blackface boy came out. What's his name? Northam. The same day as his Blackface, she had just sent an apology to the Cherokee Nation.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, she's keeping it alive as much as the news is.
So, according to Chris, here's why this all matters so much. Prior to the Post's report of this bar registration card, Warren had maintained some level of plausible deniability about claiming herself as a Native American. As the Post wrote, quote, "The Texas bar registration card is significant, among other reasons, because it removes any doubt that Warren directly claimed the identity. In other instances, Warren has declined to say whether she or an assistant filled out forms," unquote. When the story initially broke way back during Warren's 2012 Senate campaign, it was reported that Warren had been listed as a minority in a faculty directory at Harvard Law School and had been part of the school's touting of its diversity. Okay. At the time, Warren and her campaign insisted that she was unaware that her background was being touted by Harvard and had never asked them to do so. When subsequent stories emerged about Warren being listed as a Native American in a similar faculty directory at the University of Pennsylvania, the Warren team gave the same answer. She wasn't aware of the listing and certainly never gained any benefit from it. A richly reported Boston Globe investigation concluded that Warren was correct in her claim that she had never gained professionally from being listed as a Native American, but the larger question over her heritage lingered. The answer to that...
I'm sorry, professionally, if they're talking about within her schooling, sure, there's no proof so far that she benefited from that. And frankly, this Post thing doesn't show that either. But this is a woman who helped write a book called Pow Wow Chow.
Yeah.
She definitely benefited professionally from that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt there, but are you...
Well, this goes on for another like 2 pages, and I think we got the point. And Chris just kind of is padding at this stage of the game. So that's pretty much the story. This will not leave her as she pursues the presidency. Let's just put it that way.
Yes, RJ, Pow Wow Chow. That is a real thing. Look it up. You can buy it on Amazon if you want. Which, by the way, I just found out about. I'd heard about it before, but I didn't pay much attention to it. And on Monkey in the Morning the other day, somebody mentioned, I'm like, wait a minute. The name of the book is Pow Wow Chow? And yes, yeah, it is. It's got a little Native American on the front. I'm wondering how long it takes this to make her finally just say, you know what, fuck it, I'm done. She's running against candidates who, as far as we know, they don't have a lot of skeletons in their closet. Certainly nothing as big as this.
Yeah, I mean, her versus Cory Booker. The most he has is that very strange sort of admission of sexually assaulting a woman way back when, and apparently getting a pass for that, unlike so many others, but, you know, whatever.
And even in that case, I mean, the description of that sexual assault is laughable. By his writing, which is where we get this from, he awkwardly tried to kiss a friend he'd been drinking with.
Right.
That was it. Snub, thank you. You're right about the movie Scribe. Heineken, fuck that shit. Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Yeah. Blue Velvet is so weird. I mean, and anybody who's a David Lynch fan or is a burgeoning David Lynch fan, you have to do a movie night of two particular things. First, you have to watch Eraserhead. And right after that, you have to watch The Straight Story. And tell me if you can actually believe the same director did both movies, because it's quite a reach, let's say. I won't say anything else. That's all I'll say about that.
Real quick, Duck Dog says her recipe is French. That's the best part. Actually, the best part is that her recipe is lifted directly from a professional chef, if you look that up. And Jesse, the Fennec Fox, I'm so sorry to hear this. She says, my great uncle Frank passed away.
Oh, no.
Sorry to hear that. I hope he got to live a...
Force.
What's that?
I said, Monkey, have you felt a recent disturbance in the Force?
I hope he got to live a long, happy life. Sorry to hear that.
Well, how about some other shocking news?
Are we getting to that story?
I'll pretend I'm reading your mind and say yes.
All right. So this is significant, sort of, and it's in a kind of 6 degrees of separation way, because the subject of the next story was someone who kind of at least came to mine and several other people's consciousnesses over the course of the Gamergate scandal. And she participated, if I'm remembering correctly, in a charity pinup calendar that also featured people we know like Based Mama and Stuttering Soliloquy. But all that aside, porn actress Mercedes Carrera and producer boyfriend are accused of molesting a girl. Yeah.
Police say an adult film actress and a producer who were arrested Tuesday on suspicion of committing sexual acts with a girl may have other victims. Melinda Smith, 35, and Jason Whitney, 43, were charged Tuesday with 8 counts each of sexually abusing a child under the age of 10. They also face a count of possession while armed with a handgun. Smith is known as Mercedes Carrera, a porn star with an extensive number of credits on IMDb. Police say Whitney is a producer and director of several pornographic films. Detectives from the Rancho Cucamonga Police Department say they were first notified of sexual acts against a girl under the age of 10 on January 31st. The girl was sexually abused repeatedly over 4 months by Smith and Whitney, according to police. Last Friday, a search warrant served at their home uncovered evidence corroborating the girl's statement, including a bedroom setup where the couple could film and record various pornographic videos or web shows, methamphetamine, and 2 loaded handguns. The couple was denied bail and remain in custody. They are scheduled to make their first court appearance on Wednesday. When was this published? I guess that must be next Wednesday. Detectives believe there may be additional victims in the case. Anyone with information can contact the Rancho Cucamonga Police Department Bureau. This is one of those sort of like, holy shit, what the fuck barbecue kind of things, but you just never know, I guess.
Some of the arguments I've seen online about this are really starting to piss me off.
Arguments?
Yeah.
What are arguing what?
Well, like this one, where is that? Hang on, I know I quote tweeted that one, so I gotta let me get to it, because this is the one where I first heard about it. This was from somebody named Miss Vicky Star XXX. Says, oh, so wait, now everybody wants to be outraged at Mercedes Carrera about child abuse when she has been an open supporter of bigotry. Your fake outrage is laughable.
Open supporter of... Okay, so I don't even know what they're talking about as far as open supporter of bigotry, because what the fuck does that mean? But having controversial ideas or opinions and child molestation. I think these two things are a little bit far apart on the scale of evil here.
Yeah, see, that's when I looked, I'm like, okay, wait, child abuse. I'm thinking, okay, she got accused of hitting a kid or something. Then I went and looked it up. I'm like, I don't care what you think of her political opinions. You're actually comparing that to fucking children.
Yes.
Are you out of your goddamn mind?
I don't. Oops.
Jesus. That's God. That just makes me ill. God.
Yeah.
And especially, I mean, I heard somewhere, was it in the story that the kid might have been her own kid or something, or did I read that somewhere else?
I didn't see anything about. I was actually wondering where the kid came from because I never saw that.
Yeah.
They never said it was her kid. They never said, a kid that was adopted by her or whatever. You dirty twat. But there's a lot of people innocent until proven guilty, and you're right. Okay.
It's true.
But I never see anybody say that, when it's like a female teacher has molested a student again, and I, put up there hashtag teach women not to rape. Nobody comes, hey, she's innocent until proven guilty. It's amazing when people decide to use that line. And I hope she's actually innocent. I hope that this is bullshit.
Yeah, that a whole bunch of children weren't victimized like that. Let's hope that that's not true. But for fuck's sake, if it is, throw it away.
Yeah, because the reports, I mean, they raided her home and they said they found things that corroborate what the little girl told them.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking disturbing. And again, I hope it's bullshit because I don't want there to have been a little girl who was abused here. But really?
Yeah, I'm not concerned about Mercedes Carrera. I just want to know yay or nay that, like I say, hope the kids weren't actually abused, but goddamn. Porn star scandals, man. Ugh.
What a day. I mean, we have blackface, red face, and child molesters.
Well, you want some more sexual scandals before we go off to MSS News?
Sure, what you got?
Well, how about the Vatican?
Oh, God.
Amid uproar, Vatican clarifies the Pope's comments on the sexual slavery of nuns.
The sexual slavery of nuns?
A day after Pope Francis created an international uproar by saying Catholics nuns, I think you mean Catholic, anyway, Catholic nuns had been subjected to sexual slavery by the founder of a French order, the Vatican sought to clarify his remarks. Quote, when the Holy Father, referring to the dissolution of a congregation, spoke of sexual slavery, he meant manipulation, a form of abuse of power which is reflected also in sexual abuse, said Vatican spokesman Alessandro Gazzatti. Sexual slavery and manipulation are two completely different concepts. That's a little bit far afield of the Holy Father to misspeak that way.
Real quick, thank you, Cryptic. The jokes I make, I'm banned from politics. And Jar Jar, thank you again. Stormy Daniels, I rest my case.
Well, Stormy Daniels didn't hurt anybody.
Yeah, she's just a dirty hoe.
Yeah, she didn't. Yeah. Anyway. The Pope's shocking comments were the first time he has publicly acknowledged the sexual abuse of nuns by Catholic bishops and priests. To date, much of the clergy abuse scandal has focused on minors, who represent the vast majority of cases. But many Catholics say abuse of vulnerable adults, including nuns and seminarians, has long been a problem in the church. Some hope the church will address the issue at the upcoming meeting on the abuse crisis to be convened by Pope Francis from February 21st to 24th in Rome. The Vatican's own newspaper, L'Osservatore Romano, I'm probably fucking that up, last week said abuse of nuns by priests and bishops at times is, quote, made even worse by the fact that abuse of women brings about procreation and is therefore at the origin of forced abortions and children who aren't recognized by priests, unquote. Gah. Anyway, yeah.
Real quick, two more donations. Thank you again, Jar Jar Binks. I always wonder why my teacher loves her nun outfit. And thank you, Cryptic. The church said it was none of their business.
Oh, now... The slutty nun thing, when it's not actually a nun, is fine. But if you're actually a nun, no.
The Catholic Church really needs to just let priests and bishops and all of them go out and find hookers or something, because they keep getting in trouble fucking anything around them. My mom went to Catholic school. And she told us stories about nuns that let's just say they victimized as much as they're victims here. We'll leave it at that.
The Catholic Church needs to be criminally prosecuted.
Yeah.
I mean, no other organization on the planet could have gotten away with and had made as many admissions as the Catholic Church as to covering up or suborning sexual abuse on the scale that they have and not be prosecuted globally. I don't care if they're a church. That doesn't give them carte blanche to get away with this shit. It pisses me off. It wouldn't matter if it was a religious organization or some other like nonprofit. No. I don't know how many times we have to hear these stories and no one gets prosecuted for it unless it's some, random cardinal somewhere finally after 30 years, gets indicted or something. No, the organization itself should come under fucking RICO charges at this stage of the game.
Yeah. Jar Jar Binks, thank you. Jesus saves. Now bend over and say 6 Hail Marys. Yeah. Is that all you had tonight?
Those are all the stories I had pulled up.
All right, let's see what the viewers gave us. Guys, this is one of your times. It's hashtag MSS News. If there's a story you'd like us to take a look at, hit us up at the hashtag MSS News over on the Twitter machine. We can't get to all of them, but that's because
Come on.
I lost it. I have nothing. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
that's just because I have a donation to read. Thank you, Jar Jar Binks. Wrong, Scribe. Islam, the more extreme side.
No, Islam is not an organization. It is a religion. The Catholic Church is an organization. You can't prosecute a religion for the acts of individual segments of it. The Catholic Church as an organization has been suborning sexual abuse for probably centuries, but at least several decades that we know of and can prove and have documented at this point. Sorry, this particular topic really pisses me off. I mean, just not just obviously sexual abuse in general, but just the Catholic Church constantly getting away with this shit. And nothing legally happening to the organization. I'm not talking about the individual perpetrators. Those guys need to be prosecuted individually as well. But the organization itself allowed this to happen and is continuing to allow it to happen. We just don't know about it. We'll find out about it 10 years from now. So anyway, I could go on, but I won't. And now my phone is beeping at me. Why is my phone beeping at me? Because work says things aren't bad. Good. I'll take that over the alternative. All right. Well, anyway, NSS News. This one comes from Frosted Glass. And it's a Vox article. Oh, God, I haven't read Vox in a while. Why some U.S. cities are opening safe spaces for injecting heroin.
Because the overdose rate isn't high enough?
Because they don't know how to try to stop drugs otherwise? I don't know. From New York City to San Francisco, several U.S. cities now plan to open safe injection sites. The federal government isn't happy. Several American cities are rallying around a new response to the opioid epidemic, safe spaces for using heroin. The concept has gained traction in New York City, Pennsylvania, San Francisco, and other cities across the U.S. The thinking is to allow supervised drug consumption sites where people can use drugs with sterile injection equipment and the supervision of trained staff who are ready with the opioid overdose antidote naloxone if anything goes wrong. The sites may also link people to addiction treatment on request. The idea, while in an ideal world, no one would use dangerous and potentially deadly drugs, many people do. So it's better to give these people a space where they can use drugs with some sort of supervision. It's a harm reduction approach. Others aren't receptive to the idea. The U.S. Department of Justice under President Donald Trump and Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, God, so many fucking syllables, has become a vocal opponent of supervised consumption sites, also known as safe injection sites, threatening and even taking legal action. Well, because possession of heroin and it's illegal.
Real quick, Corey, thank you. I think this is a ploy by the police to bring them all in. It's not.
No, it's not. I can understand the intent because, the spreading of disease, overdoses, accidental, these things are problems obviously. And if you give people, you know, if you shunt them into a situation where they could conceivably be given help, or if they're going to do it anyway, at least do it. They're not going to be spreading AIDS or hepatitis or anything else. But how much of that is, you know, sort of preventing further harm, and how much of that is promoting, you know, advocating for drug use?
Well, in an ideal world, I'm for legalizing all drug use and going for something like this.
Yeah.
Where you have safe sites where people can go in, get as high as they want, and they don't hurt anybody or themselves.
Right.
The problem is you're talking about people who are drug addicts, and you're expecting them, and when we're talking heroin, we're talking a hard drug here, expecting them to be responsible. You know, well, I'm not gonna get high at home. I'm gonna go to the safe space and do it.
Well, I mean, I guess the idea is if you make it more accessible and not make them have to go through all these illegal channels to get it or whatever, they're probably more likely to go to the easiest place it is to obtain, which I can kind of get that idea, but I don't know. I don't know about that one.
Again, I get the idea. I just think it's idealistic.
Well, sure, it's idealistic. I mean,
it's definitely that.
Let's see. Jack Cochran sent us the story about the Attorney General of Virginia, so we already did that. This one comes from Princess Unicorn Nipples. Missing Tampa man located safely. Okay, well, that's a good news. A missing Tampa man who allegedly made statements about him being God was safely located. Ariel Rodriguez, 33, had not been seen since leaving his family's residence on West Pocahontas Avenue on February 4th. In addition to making statements about him being God, he believed he is the lion mentioned in the Bible. He also said he wants to heal people and kill people.
Oh.
Well, I'm glad they found him, and hopefully he's getting treatment.
Was he in one of these heroin dens?
I don't know. He might have been running the Catholic Church, though. Let's see. This one comes from Mashisu, if it'll come up. Politan Row, that's a place, I guess. Politan Row, food hall heading to West Loop. This combination of words doesn't mean anything to me because I'm not from Chicago. A food hall from the company behind St. Roch Market, I don't know what that is headed to the West Loop. I'm very confused as to what this story is about. It's talking about a new food court is being built. Thanks, Smash, I guess? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know either. Let's see. This one comes from Leathery Old Bastard. Oh, for God's sakes, really?
Yes, really.
Oh, wait. Am I allowed to read this article? I guess I am. Okay. The period emoji is finally coming, and there's a waffle and an otter, too. Satsu, there's going to be a waffle emoji.
I am super excited.
Can you put the period on the waffle?
Period waffles.
Hey, ooh, red food coloring on waffles for that time of the month.
Before you start, Jar Jar, thank you. Well, I know that guy. He was trying to sell me a bag of oranges on the roadside, claiming they'd give me eternal life. Don't eat those.
You've sent unicorns, dragons, and smiling poos. Actually, I haven't. I don't have a smartphone. I don't give a shit. Now you can finally send a period emoji. Oh, my prayers are answered.
Yay.
Unicode, the organization that manages the distribution of emojis, the fact that that is actually a viable business just boggles my mind, has confirmed a blood drop-shaped emoji is included in its February 2019 emoji release, meaning it'll be appearing on our keyboards around springtime. A drop of blood by itself is going to end up becoming meaning a lot of different things.
Well, they had another one. I don't know if it talks about it in this article.
It comes after more than 55,000 people called for a period emoji to be added to the global emoji keyboard last year. fuck's sake. In a campaign led by girls' rights charity Plan International UK, well, which is it? Is it international or is it UK? To help break down the silence, stigma, and taboos surrounding periods. Silence, everybody knows about them.
But we need to appreciate how awesome they make women.
We look forward to sending it to our entire contact book once a month. That's the author speaking, I guess.
Wait a minute. So they look like they look forward to doing fucking phone-wide alerts, letting everybody that they know that they are on their period.
Yep.
Are you
Hey, everybody, my vagina's bleeding. Yay!
Yay!
The latest emoji update also includes the introduction of dozens of graphics illustrating disability and accessibility, including prosthetic limbs, a hearing aid, and people using mobility aids. Disability charity Scope has praised the move. Quote, social media is hugely influential, and it's great to see these new disability-inclusive emojis. Charity spokesperson Phil Talbot told the BBC. Up to now, disability has been greatly underrepresented in emoji. Okay.
Let me get these real fast. They're piling up. Thank you, Jar Jar Binks. Waffle emoji was racist. Where's the grape juice? It's a great drink. Mash, thank you so much. Scribe, it's where McDonald's new headquarters will be. It's supposed to have a beer garden. Oh, that.
None of that was mentioned. None of that was mentioned in the story, so I didn't.
And Sir Wolfgang, first world problems intensifies. Yeah. So, the story I read about this, they actually had made a period one before. There was a pair of pants that had blood on them.
Oh, Jesus!
And it got rejected, so they decided to go with just the blood.
Yeah, well, it's going to be used as a threat against people sooner or later.
Oh, no, every time a woman gets bitchy, just put a whole bunch of blood emojis at her.
Yeah, and they're going to be like, the sexism behind the period emoji is problematic.
Exactly.
Calling it now, y'all.
There you go. Let's see, this one comes from Judge Death. 6 newly discovered catfish species have faces full of tentacles. Dun, dun, dun. Cthulhu! The rainforest-flanked rivers of tropical South America hold 6 more species of catfish than previously thought, new research suggests. Well, are they or aren't they? What do you mean suggests? But these aren't the wide-mouth, whiskered catfish you may be familiar with from murky waterways throughout the U.S. interior. These new fishes look something out of a D&D monster manual. Sucker-mouthed, adorned in armor plating, and with defensive spines jutting out from their heads. Oh, and the males have snouts carpeted in squiggly tentacles. Did they name them like Cthulhuus something-us or whatever? No, of course not. Anyway, this goes on for quite a while. Yeah, lots of fishies, weird looking with like little squiggly things coming out of their mouths or faces. There you go. Let's see, this one comes from George Mason. Delta and Coca-Cola apologize for creepy napkins after passengers complain. Creepy napkins?
Yeah, wait till you see them.
Love might not be in the air for Delta Airlines and Coca-Cola. The two brands have reportedly apologized for providing passengers with controversial napkins that encourage travelers to, quote, write down your telephone number and give it to your plane crush, unquote.
Like it's fucking elementary school. Real quick, thank you, Cynical Lindsay. If they're going to allow a period blood emoji, then it's only fair that they include a jizz emoji. Hashtag equality.
A white drop?
Well,
except, yeah, but jizzing isn't just a singular monthly event. That's like an hourly practice for some people.
Which makes it even more empowering.
I suppose empowering to your wrist.
And if you leave it long enough, just as crusty and stanky.
The napkins, which featured Diet Coke logos, were printed on one side with the words, quote, because you're on a plane full of interesting people and hey, you never know, unquote, and instructions on the other side reading, quote, Be a little old school. Write down your number and give it to your plane crush. You never know. There were also spaces to write down a telephone number and a name.
You know,
that sounds innocent enough.
This whole creepy thing I don't get, but it is weird.
Yeah, it's awkward, I would say.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily creepy, but it's very ill-conceived, let's say. This does remind me of a story from, I don't know, a few months back where someone like switched their seat with someone and then watched as the two people that ended up sitting next to each other basically fell in love right there in the seat in front of them, and then she saw them like walking out hand in hand later on. There was some like sort of like romantic little Facebook novella that popped out about that thing.
What she didn't know is the guy was married.
Yeah,
real
probably.
quick, Jar Jar Binks, no jizz emoji, monkey. You'll empower the church.
Oh.
What's up,
yeah,
Matt?
I get that some people are like, that's creepy. It's not creepy. It's just weird. I mean,
yeah.
It's a napkin. Throw it away for fuck's sake.
Yeah, it's like one of those like ideas that sounds cute in the boardroom, and then actually in practice, kind of like, that was a little half baked. But yeah, it doesn't do anything to anybody. It doesn't harm anybody. Whatever.
People getting upset by it. That's
yeah.
Come on.
Well, they'll get upset by anything.
You know why?
Why is that?
They're on their period emoji.
Oh. Let's see. This one comes from Toasted Network. Yeah, okay. Man arrested for stealing 70 pairs of shoes that he sniffed for sexual pleasure.
All right.
Sure. A middle-aged man has been arrested for stealing over 70 pairs of shoes that he sniffed for sexual pleasure, according to reports. Makoto Endo, 40, nicked the footwear in Tochigi and Saitama, eastern Japan, because he enjoyed, quote, sniffing the smell of well-worn shoes, unquote. Endo admitted he did not mind if they were men's or women's shoes. Well, at least he's inclusive. According to local media, the suspect is currently on trial for the multiple thefts after police found a large number of shoes in his home. And then they have a picture of the shoes that he stole, and it's all a bunch of like old sneakers and things. And
why?
I don't know. I mean, something triggered that in him when he was very young. He smelled mommy's shoes or something, and that made him all happy. I'm assuming.
This is just like mommy's shoe funk.
Mommy foot.
That reminds me. I was going through just real quick. I was going through Steam the other day, looking at the sales and stuff, and then I often go through and look at tycoon games and sim games because those are some of my favorites.
Sure.
And there was one in there. It was an Oedipus dating simulator.
Oh God!
It's like, what the fuck is wrong with people? If you don't know why that's disgusting, go look it up.
I'm hoping for a period emoji tycoon game soon.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Period tycoon. How would that work? Anyway, I don't want to know. This one comes from Chicago Mike. Uh-oh. It's about Popeyes.
We didn't talk about the Bill Maher thing, did we?
No.
Oh, I remember that.
After you do this, we'll talk about Bill Maher real fast.
Well, we can just make this the last story then. Because by then... let's see. This police man fails to open register at Popeyes, so he steals chicken instead. All right. New Orleans police say a man entered a fast food restaurant and tried to swipe some cash, but couldn't open the register, so he made off with some fried chicken instead. The Times-Picayune reports the man entered the Popeyes in eastern New Orleans on Monday morning and tried to steal money from the register. But police say the register wouldn't budge, so he grabbed some fried chicken and fled. Police arrested 27-year-old Philip Lee a short time later in the area. He faces charges of simple robbery and simple battery. They set his bond at $13,500. That's a lot of chicken.
Thank you, Jar Jar Binks. If I wanted to see emojis of jizzing and periods, I'd go back to Pornhub. That tells me the man was just hungry. He was stealing so he could get some food, and like, you know what? If I can't have the money, just give me the food.
Oh, wait, before you get to the Bill Maher thing, let me at least do this when we have a Florida man story. Got to do a Florida man story. This one comes from senior staff reporter Jack the motherfucking Cockring. Florida man tries to run over son who wouldn't take a bath.
All right.
A North Florida resident stepped outside to investigate after hearing loud yelling and the sound of a vehicle revving up. To his horror, he saw a little boy running away from a truck. The person behind the wheel was the boy's father, 45-year-old Joseph Lamar Riley, according to the Escambia County Sheriff's Office. The terrified boy ran to the neighbor's house seeking help. The boy said his father asked him several times to take a bath. When he didn't comply, the father threatened to spank him with a belt. I don't think spanking with a belt is the word I would use. Let's say whipping. You don't spank so much with a belt. Or beating, whatever. Seeking to avoid punishment, the boy left the house. Deputies said the father escalated things when he got in his truck and began chasing the boy. Investigators said Riley had been drinking that day. Surprise, surprise. When they spoke with him, he had trouble standing on his own. Authorities said he would not cooperate and even lunged at deputies at one point. Good move. He was booked into the Escambia County Jail and charged with domestic violence and for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and resisting an officer. Well, get that guy away from that kid. That's all I got to say.
Oh, wait, we have an active shooter?
Dewahada? Okay, going over to CNN. Nothing on there.
Patrice Ripley says active shooter at Central Washington University. Como News breaking.
Okay, hold on. Active shooter reported in Central Washington. Okay. Active shooter reported on Central Washington University campus in Ellensburg. There are reports of an active shooter on Central Washington University's campus in Ellensburg, according to university police. The shooter was reported in the area of Lind Hall, according to a tweet from CWU police around 5:30 p.m. Wednesday. Police are advising people stay out of the area. This is a developing story. Okay, well, wow. I will keep that. I'll keep that window refreshed over the course of the show, and if anything else comes up, we'll let you know.
All righty. Wow.
That's okay. I hope it's nothing. I hope it's nothing.
Me too. I'm still thinking about this asshole trying to run over his kid.
Yeah.
How old was the boy? Did they tell us?
No, just a young kid. They didn't say.
I hope he has somebody sane in his life to take care of him now. Fucking asshole. Oh, man. Guys, thank you so much for the submissions. I'll wrap up hashtag MSS News for this evening. Satsu.
Yes.
Did you do anything on the YouTubes today?
Not any work because me and Squishy went to go check out the apartment that I was telling you, or the couple of apartments that I told you guys we were going to check out. And looking good so far. Pretty promising. I might end up heading back out there once we get all our information together in a day or so to get all that stuff set up. But me and Monkey got some plans going on for this New Dawn release once that comes out, and I'm really excited about that. Monkey got me pumped last night talking about it, so we'll be working on that, and I'll fill you guys in on that a little more once we figure out exactly what we're going to do and how we're going to go about it. So be on the lookout for that. Other than that, nope. I still have stuff jotted down for stuff I want to work on. And the only project I'm really going to be working on is the one Monkey proposed to me last night. So
cool. Fussy Notions points out, yes, Jeff Holiday, friend of the show, hit 100,000 subs. Congratulations.
Oh,
nice.
Wow. So wait, Sinatra got to 100,000 before Jeff Holiday?
Jeff had a setback, remember?
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
That's
so right. He's rebuilt, and yeah, he's got himself back up to 100K. So that's
right. Okay.
Good for him.
Okay.
Scribbles, what'd you work on?
Nothing. I did find a video that immediately told me I should do something on this, because do you remember that video I did where that lady from AJ Plus was interviewing the inspiration coach and talking about his toxic masculinity book?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, he has his own YouTube channel, and he put out a video today. And I was looking at this video. I was like, "Wow, you're as inspirational here as you were in the last thing I saw you." But the thing is, I've been working on here and there 2 different videos this last week. And even though I'm relatively far in the process of both of them, I'm just kind of meh. I just don't really have the enthusiasm for them right now. I don't know if it's just all the work come down or the weather, or I'm just kind of burnt out for a little while or something. So as I said on Twitter today, I'm going to take a little breather from scripted content for a few days, I think, and just kind of recuperate or whatever I need to do. But of course, the caveat is if I come across a video that suddenly gets my motor running, I'll do a video almost immediately. So that is what I worked on. And just another plug for this Sunday at noon, I'll be doing the second Familiar with the Matter with Jim Healis, friend of the show, on the subject of independent comic books. So stay tuned for that.
Cool. Thank you, Jar Jar Binks. Does toxic masculinity usually come in 20 inches?
No, it comes in period emojis.
Period emoji. It's weird that the period emoji, the way they did the shading for it, the bottom of it kind of looks like a butt, but the top of it kind of looks like a vag. Anyhow, what did I do today? I did a monkey in the morning, and then I was working on a thing me and Satsu were talking about. I'm pumped for New Dawn. As pumped as Satsu was for Resident Evil 2, I am pumped for New Dawn. Cannot wait to play. It drops on the 15th, next Friday. We give away games on Fridays and Saturdays, and this Friday and Saturday, guys, we're giving away Far Cry 5, a copy each night.
Ooh.
So come check us out on 2 Cents Plus if you want a chance to win that. We'll be playing tonight on the open server. You won't have a chance to win tonight, but you can earn chimp change so that you can get in the drawings for Far Cry 5. And yeah, we'll be building up this week to the launch. I can't wait for New Dawn, man. We had so much fun. One of the things I've been doing as part of this is going through some of our old gameplay and watching. And not to sound conceited, we're funny as hell.
How funny is hell?
Wait. Not intentionally is the best part.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
It is rarely intentional. There's just to give one example, there was one time me and him were both gliding in our parachute suits. What are those called? Wingsuits.
Yeah, the wingsuits, yeah.
And for some reason, Satsu flew right up my ass and he died instantly.
Yeah.
It's like why did that just happen? But we have a lot of fun and we had a lot of screw ups in that series that made it a lot of fun. So I can't wait to go back to Hope County. What's next? Oh, fucketry time. That's what comes up next. I'm like, Jesus Christ, my brain left me. It is now time for YouTube, internet, Twitter, Facebook, fucketry time, guys. And let's start with you, Satsu.
Well, I had a rather epic rant today due to this whole Liam Neeson thing. A couple tweets that I put out due to frustration. Let me see if I can find the initial thread here. Well, the most recent one that I put out, this one wasn't too long ago. I said, Liam made a fatal error in believing that Slacktivists actually wanted people to discuss the issues in order to stamp out racism. They wanted to preserve it because outrage is a very valuable tool as of late. It was a trap, and he nosedived right into it.
You know, that real quick, that's an angle I hadn't thought about on this. You're right. I mean, the story he told is kind of hard to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's like, I'm just going to go kill a black man because a black man did something to my friend. Not the black man who did it, but anyone. But he wasn't telling it as a motivational speech. He wasn't going, I hope you do it too.
Well, that's the interesting part about the responses is a lot of people are like, you know, he said that he was going to do this thing and that thing is so wrong. And he's like, I'm like, that was the story. That's what he's saying. This thing was horrible. And I felt really bad about even entertaining the thought. That's why I brought it up. And they're like, well, that's still a really bad thing to think. I'm like, yeah, that's the point. That's the fucking point. You have been telling people with privilege and power to use their base to start and have these conversations so we can address them. And when they do, you're like, okay, we're going to burn you alive. Not we're going to back this person up and support them. Because think about it, as powerful, you know, a position as Liam Neeson has, as powerful as he is with the, you know, in the position that he's in, if he would have, you know, made this announcement initially and they would have said, hey guys, pay attention to this. This is a good example of somebody with influence acknowledging, you know, the bad that's happened in the world. Regardless of if it happened a long time ago, there might be some people out there who think like this. So we need to have this discussion. That is a good fucking, you know, springboard to jump off of to get public attention. But no, they're just like, no, we just want to destroy them instead of using this opportunity that we asked for. We're just going to fucking destroy them instead. And it is so fucking stupid. It's so dumb.
Faithless in chat just said there is no redemption, only persecution from the left.
Yep. And the you guys can see the oh wait, well here's the other one. Slacktivist people with power need to use it to start real conversations about racism and bigotry. And then I said, Liam, okay, cool, I will. I made a poor race-based decision in the past and I was wrong. You heard the racists, burn them alive. I'm just like, Jesus Christ. Here's the because this one, I don't want to read all of this. I'm going to copy the link to the feed if you guys want to see it. I know a lot of people have seen it because this thing has a like altogether, this feed has over 200, maybe 300 likes. So I'll put it up so you guys can actually check out my rant. I just realized that one of the comments on here is preach, sister. Why? I am clearly not a woman. Yeah, but that's kind of it. I didn't really get into much else. Me and Squishy were laughing at dumb Instagram shit most of the day. Before we went to go look at the apartment. So that was my fucking treat for the day. Just ranting.
Okay, Scribbles, what about you?
I didn't really have any fucketry today. I made a bunch of snarky comments on Twitter, but nothing like noteworthy, I don't think so.
All righty, that brings it back to me, and I got a little bit of fucketry today. Let's see, we did the one Kamala Harris. Kamala, you dumb broad. Kamala Harris, for those of you who don't know, is a senator who's running. She's a senator from California running for the presidency. And she tweeted this out today. Russia was able to influence our election because they figured out that racism, sexism, anti-Semitism, homophobia, and transphobia are America's Achilles heel. These issues aren't only civil rights. They're also a matter of national security. We have to deal with that.
Which election is she talking about?
Probably 2016, I'm guessing.
But they just said that nothing happened in 2018.
Jar Jar Binks, thank you. God damn it. Time to get those lefties to work on my cotton plantation.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I just love it. Did you notice the things she listed? Racism, sexism, anti-Semitism, homophobia, and transphobia. Mm-hmm. These are all things that the left, I mean, they bang on about. Trump was all of these things. He was racist, sexist, anti-Semitic, homophobic, and transphobic. And if you want to put that on the Russians, that those became something people cared about. Did you notice that? I mean, if you're going with the narrative that the Russians made this happen using those things, they made people not give a shit about those.
Yeah.
So I'm having trouble wondering or understanding what her point is here, other than Russians bad, gave Trump election. This woman's an idiot. She really is. The more she talks, the more I'm realizing she's a prosecutor, so she's not a complete idiot, but she's not very savvy, I guess is the word I'm looking for. She just says shit and hopes it means something. Stick with book learning, because that's where you belong. Let's see, we had that. Bear had a really good video out today about an SJW comedian. Check that out if you get a chance. I think that was on the Irate Bear channel. The other one that really, this one pissed off a lot of people today. Nadia Velázquez. Do you guys know who C.J. Pearson is?
Name sounds very familiar.
He's a teenage black conservative.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Really came to some prominence with the Covington thing.
Okay.
He'd had some before that, but he's like, I'm going to make sure all of you pay for what you're doing to these kids. And this is a kid. I mean, he's like 16, I think. Well, he tweeted this out last night during the, what's it called? God damn it, State of the Union. I apologize, my brain doesn't work. But he said, at AOC has been talking this entire speech, and the woman next to her keeps trying to look the other way. And Ms. Velazquez said, hi, CJ Pearson. I'm not the woman sitting next to her. AOC and I, and millions like us, are the future of this country. And you're right to be afraid of us, but you should learn my name.
Did he say anything about being afraid of her?
No, I read you exactly what he said.
What the fuck is she talking about?
Even if he had said, I'm afraid of her, what the fuck? This is a sitting member of Congress telling a child, be afraid of me.
Yeah.
Wait, what the fuck? I feel like we need the period blood emoji.
Well, you're going to get it soon. I mean, it's coming.
I don't even know what she read when she wrote this. Because all the dude said was that AOC kept trying to speak to her and she kept trying to look the other way.
Right.
I am not the woman sitting next to her. Actually, you were. You were the woman sitting next to her. And there's no reason he should be afraid of you. And if you think constituents should be afraid of you, you shouldn't have your position. Because that's not how it fucking works. We've had a few of these. I mean, where the AOC was one who was threatening Donald Trump Jr. before she actually came into office after she'd been elected. And that's not what your job is, you silly bitches. If you took your job in Congress to punish people, you did it for the wrong reason. Angela says she has the emotional maturity of a 12-year-old. I read that today. I'm like, what the? I read it and then I responded and then I actually came back and responded again because it stuck in my head.
Monkey, did you see his response?
Yes, I did. He had a really good response to it.
Dude, I was like, did it just get darker in here? Holy fuck.
I don't. Oh, here it is. He goes, I'm sorry if I bruised your ego, but genuinely, I really don't know who you are. Do less tweeting and more work, Congresswoman. Maybe then more Americans will know your name. Be blessed. Oh,
I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, he bitch slapped the fuck out of her, which is great. Good for him. But this is still a sitting member of Congress who threatened a child. And I haven't seen this on like any major news site. The only site I've seen cover this was Gateway Pundit. And they're not exactly like a news site. I mean, you have a sitting member of Congress threatening a child who didn't say anything bad about her even. There was nothing to even set this bitch off. And you should be afraid of us. Well, I kind of am now.
I wasn't before, but now I feel there might be some grounds for concern.
This one comes from a New York Times writer. This was beautiful today. She's a New York Times White House correspondent.
Oh.
Trump just ad-libbed they came down from heaven when quoting a Holocaust survivor watching American soldiers liberate Dachau. Jews don't believe in heaven.
Oh, Jesus.
What?
Really? Jews don't believe in heaven? Really?
They don't believe in the Christian heaven where you ascend the same way. But the Old Testament, you might want to take a look at it.
Yeah.
In the beginning, just the beginning of it. In the beginning, God creating the heavens.
Oh, I thought Hollywood.
She followed up with this. This was sent to me by a reader. Quote, while it is true that the Hebrew Bible does not mention an afterlife, there's a complex eschatology, I don't know what that word is, that includes a very detailed map of Jewish afterlife contained in the rabbinic, Kabbalistic, and Haddistic literature. That doesn't matter. They do still believe that there's a God in fucking heaven, you morons.
Monkey no malfunctioning on the show.
This is a fucking woman who's look, learn to code. You can't because you're obviously a fucking moron. But they're and we're gonna get into this next, unless you guys have more fucketry. We're gonna go over the debate a little bit. Did you, or not the debate, the State of the Union? Did you guys actually watch the rest of it?
I didn't have a chance to because I was really busy with work today.
It was a really good speech. It was it was a really good political speech. He did a good job of at the beginning setting it up. Look, I think we need to come together. The American people don't want us to be Democrats and Republicans. They want us to be united to help them. I'm paraphrasing there, but that's a good line. That's a really good line. And then he spent the whole speech. I finally got to see the speech when he said to the women, you weren't supposed to do that, when they clapped. That was fucking beautiful. But he did a good job of setting them up to have to choose between clapping for him or either standing up and clapping for Trump at something he said that was good, or sitting on their hands and seeming to support things that they shouldn't support, like human traffickers being put in jail. And they sat on their hands as Trump mentioned a whole bunch of them being jailed this last year. Like, that's a good thing. You should be standing up, cheering for that. But they didn't, because he made them look really no, you know what, Faithless, he didn't make them look petty. They looked petty. They absolutely did. He gave a good speech. The polls for this have been very positive. I think it was either CNN or the CBS one. It came in with like 90% approval from Republicans, like 20% approval from Democrats, and then 82% from independents. This speech went over very well. It was a very well done speech. And we had another instance where we last night on Monkey in the Morning, I went over the CNN version of the fact check.
Oh God, that was so bad.
It was just as bad as when he gave his speech to the nation. Like, almost the entire thing was, yeah, but.
Yeah. Oh, did you see the little hashtag I came up for that?
No.
I called it fact exceptions.
Well played, sir.
Wait, damn, I was about to say something in regards to that. AOC, she had came out and said that he was completely unprepared and that speech was a mess or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? What I put though is, I'm like, from a person who's completely unprepared in every speaking scenario, I think we should listen to her on this one.
Well, he well played. She said he was unprepared and that he made no proposals to do anything. Like, yeah, he did. I mean, he proposed money for cancer research, for the wall. He proposed, oh my God, whether you like abortion or not, I don't care. The president of the United States getting up there and saying late-term abortion is evil and we need to make or outlaw it. I'm like, damn. I mean, he was throwing a gauntlet down right there. He made a lot of proposals. She was just so busy rolling her goddamn eyes into the back of her head, she wasn't paying attention to what was actually being seen or said. Yeah, her little thing, because she went on to Rachel Maddow. I think her and Rachel Maddow are dating. I'm almost positive now. Because she always turns up on Maddow's show after anything. And yeah, that's where she said he was unprepared, and I feel like he wasn't paying attention, and he didn't offer anything. Like, bitch, go watch it again, because you obviously missed half of the fucking speech. And then when he said there will be no the United States will not be a socialist country, and they zoomed in on Bernie, I was like, oh, burn. And the best part of that is because, you know, the networks and Congress, they get a copy of the speech before it happens. Somebody, and this was somebody in every television station across the nation, they had a Bernie camera just waiting. They knew when that part was coming because they zoomed right in on his face. Boom. And it's the only time they really showed him. But it was actually a pretty decent speech. And then the response. the response was bad. They let Sarah Abrams give it, and it didn't really address much of what Trump talked about or give a real vision of the future for the Democrats. She gave the only thing she seemed to really propose was fixing voter suppression. Oh, what did I say? Her name is Stacey. What did I say? My bad. Stacey Abrams.
Yeah.
And this was all stuff that was like more personal to her because she thinks she lost the election because of voter suppression.
Right.
They should have let somebody else give this speech. She was not very good at it. Yeah, so I enjoyed it actually as a political speech. The only real problem with it is it went on way too goddamn long. By the end of it, I was getting bored and like, okay. And he had so many people there, so many people to stand up and clap for. And all of them deserved it. They really did. I mean, you had a guy who was survivor of a Nazi train. You had a guy rescued from Dachau. You had infantry from D-Day. Lots of people. The little girl with cancer, man. She was so sweet. There's a little girl who, when she was 4, she started raising money for St. Jude's, and then she ended up with brain cancer. But she survived, and I mean that's a great story. And Trump used that to say, "Look, we need to spend more money on cancer research." Good for you, Mr. President. But yeah, he had way too many people standing in. And yeah, Stacey Abrams looks like a freaky clown and should not be on TV anymore. I had trouble watching her reception speech, but then Bernie Sanders gave a rebuttal where Trump is wrong because they're poor people. We had Kamala Harris's pre-buttal, which I still haven't watched, and now I kind of want to after seeing some of her comments since then, because that woman is, I don't know who's running her Twitter. I hope it's not her. But yeah, I enjoyed it and thought it was a pretty decent speech. But that leaves us with 13 minutes to talk because you guys didn't watch it. Damn it.
That's right. We were remiss.
No, I was hoping you guys had seen it because I am really curious of your opinion on it. And in Scribbles, don't watch the whole thing if you don't want to. Grab like 20 minutes of it and just watch it real fast. Not right now, but you know what I mean? I want to see if you agree how well he worked the crowd. He actually got the fucking Democrats to chant USA. I was like, that's awesome.
Accidentally, probably.
It was accidental. It absolutely was. Because they cheered, they did the USA cheer twice. The first time, the Democrats weren't involved. And the second time was when he mentioned that there were more women in Congress this year than ever before.
Right.
And all the women get up and start chanting, and somebody starts a USA chant. And the women in white started chanting before they realized what they were doing. Oh, what was the Bill Maher thing? Okay, yeah, we can talk about that real fast. Bill Maher made another racist gaffe on his show last week.
What? Oh, call Ice Cube.
Yeah, he had. Let me bring that back up. I accidentally closed that. Bill Maher is the GOP congressman. What is his name? Where's it at? It's not in the title. Will Hurd. He's a Republican from Texas. They're talking back and forth about why Hurd is a Republican. Okay. And Maher asked him, "What's in the Republican Party for you?" And Hurd said, "I was in the CIA. I was a dude in back alleys at 4 a.m. in the morning collecting intel." And Maher cuts in, "That's where they collect it, huh? By the Popeyes chicken?"
Oh shit! What? Oh wait. Okay, maybe I'm just dense. How's that racist?
Because only black people like chicken.
Because Will Hurd is a black man.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that. Oh, okay.
Yeah. See, that's the part that makes like, that's
the context I didn't have. Okay.
Well, you see, now I'm with you. Look, one, I think it's a joke. And two, Satsu, you're right. Lots of people eat chicken. However, there are so many other places to go besides Popeye's chicken. This was obviously, it had a racial undertone to it,
Sure,
which is fine. Again, it's a fucking joke. I don't care. But yeah, Bill Maher keeps making these gaffes, and he is a liberal Democrat now.
So did the guy have a response afterwards or during the show to his joke?
I don't know. I haven't seen his actual response.
Oh, okay.
Every story I've read, and I haven't got to see the actual video, but yeah, every story I read ends there and then talks about how everybody got upset, except he was talking to a Democrat or a Republican. So there's hardly been anything about it. It was a news story for a couple of hours and then it went away.
Or so it was a black Republican. So, you know, I don't know what that means.
He's a black man who's a Republican. That's all it means.
Yeah.
But yeah, he could have said, you know, behind a 7-Eleven, behind a McDonald's. Both of those are far more well known than Popeyes.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. You know what you did. You know what you did. You made it. You made a Negro joke. Which again, I have no problem with, but I really would like to hear him address it, considering he's gone so social justice-y in his new iteration.
Well, has anyone tweeted Ice Cube about this?
You know, I don't know.
That'd be my next question. Is Ice Cube on the case? Maybe
he said 10 hail NWAs and he's all better now. I don't know. Yeah, I saw a thing the other earlier today, because it was after the AG in Virginia story broke, and they said, can you imagine a Republican state with a Republican governor, lieutenant governor, and AG, where two of them were found in blackface and one was accused of sexual assault? As I I don't know if you guys remember, right before the Virginia story, and I wish I could remember where it was at. I want to say it was Florida. It was the AG or the deputy AG stepped down because a picture of him in blackface surfaced from Katrina.
I vaguely remember this. Okay.
Yeah, he went to a costume party on Halloween dressed as a Katrina victim, and he painted his face black. He had big hoop earrings.
Right.
Yeah. And he immediately stepped down. Just, I'm done.
Yep.
Because he knew there's no coming back from that unless you're a Democrat from Virginia. I can't believe Northam's still there. Politically, I just can't believe he's still there. I don't care about blackface. Come on, I'm getting so annoyed by this crying and look, little nigga, I understand. I don't care about the blackface. I really don't. This was years ago, and but if we're talking about politically, if we're talking about how the world works now, they should have been drummed out of office already. The AG should have resigned like 2 minutes after he said, yes, I've been in blackface. That's just the political reality of the day.
I mean, what happened to Al Franken, for God's sakes? I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, he took pictures pretending to grab somebody's boob.
Yeah.
Pretending to. He didn't even do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been fun watching the world today. And then I took a nap and woke up to the Mercedes Carrera thing. I'm like, no, fuck it. I should have stayed in bed.
Yeah. I remember it was so odd because she did a bunch of interviews and things during the whole Gamergate deal in support of the Gamergate side of things. And I was just kind of like, this is so, you know, I never thought I'd live to see where a porn star takes a political or social political role in that way. And she was like raising money for charity and doing all these events and all this other stuff. And then once I started doing YouTube, like peripheral people I knew were working with her, like Liberal Lunacy, the lady that has I think it's muscular dystrophy or something, and she's in a wheelchair.
Oh, Shannon, yeah.
Yeah, Shannon. She had been getting like health or workout advice from her for like the last couple of years to get herself in better shape, even regardless of her disability. And you always saw them like text or tweeting back and forth to each other. And it's like, this is so, what a small world we live in, where everybody's like in all these very eclectic situations in life, and yet they're all sort of helping each other out and all that. And then this happens, I'm like, God damn it. Faith in humanity kind of like gets degraded again. Like, fuck me.
Shannon tweeted out today, she streamed with Mercedes twice.
Right. Yeah, that too. Yeah.
On her channel. She goes, I don't know what to do with those now.
Yeah.
And somebody's like, well, just leave them. I mean, if that was you, would you leave it up?
I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't. I don't think I'd want to enshrine. Well, I mean, I'd wait until something was proven and or convicted, I guess, to be fair, I suppose. But after that, yeah, I wouldn't want to enshrine somebody or want to maintain a relationship, even in reference to someone like that.
See, I'd be torn either way. Because one, I mean, it would depend also, the topic. If it was just random chatting and nothing, boring shit, then probably I wouldn't care about it either way. But if there was like a really good conversation that happened, I would also feel part of like it would be hiding it. You know what I mean? If you took it down. And
yeah, like you had something to hide.
Right. I see what you're saying too, though, Scott. I wouldn't want to be associated with it either. So I don't know. I'm glad I'm not in the position to have to make that call. But man, yeah. She was. It is weird, by the way, guys. If you run podcasts or YouTube streams, porn stars are weirdly willing to go on and talk with you. I believe it was it Whitey and Gemini who had they had a porn star on one time too. They're big fans of some chick, and they told her that on Twitter, and she's like, "Oh, come on." Like, okay.
You just gave me an idea.
I'm telling you, dude.
Familiar with the matter. Could I get let's see, who would I try?
Reach out. You could probably get a beautiful redheaded porn star to come on and tell you all about the business.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I'll think about it.
Faithless says, so sick of this guilt by association. I understand that, but there's also, whether you like it or not, there's branding. And your brand is something you have to protect. Shannon, formerly known as Liberal Lunacy. Shannon, yes. She now has a channel called Under the Veil.
Yes.
Which is a cool little channel you should check out if you haven't already. She's getting real close to 500 subs. She's rebuilding from scratch. She just stopped her old one and started a new channel. But with that, guys, we're gonna turn it over to you. Questions, comments, concerns, conspiracy theories, cunts, anything you want to share with us, now's the time. Throw it into chat. Remember, if it's a question, make sure there's lots of chat marks so we know that it's actually a question. Because we do pay more attention to those, but we will try to address the other things. Stop being a liberal, monkey. You sound like my grandpa.
Liberal about what?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Little nigga, if you're talking about when I was saying about blackface, I'm not saying it's okay that it's become an instant killer in politics. I'm just saying it's true.
Yeah. It's a fact that it exists and people are doing it.
Yep. Toasted Network. Is it possible Ralph Northam reported abortion because he supported abortion because he hates blacks and Karma or in Kamala? Jesus, dude.
Wow. Can you speak?
Pick a question and then make a separate question when you have a different topic. You can do it in the same little thing there, but is it possible Ralph Northam supported abortion because he hates blacks? Sure, it's possible. Is there anything that shows that? No. Did Kamala Harris sleep her way to the top? There is some evidence that she was successful early on because of the way she treated someone else's dick. Yes. Tarkata, how long till BuzzFeed writes an article about toxic emoji usage, i.e., what's wrong with you? Are you on your period emoji? I think it's going to real soon.
Well, we've already kind of had that. Remember with the eggplant thing? Wasn't that a thing for a while? Yeah. That's already kind of been a thing.
Oh, what was that BuzzFeed article today I was going to talk about? Fuck. Oh, shit. What was it?
Why are you asking me?
I can't remember if I retweeted it, and I meant to because it was a really fucking stupid story. Shit, I'm going to have to look it up. Okay. I got to go through my history, y'all. I hate having to go through my history. I look at too much shit. You guys ever do that? You go through your history and you're like, fuck, I can't find it. BuzzFeed, come here. Where's your little fucking oh, this one. This altered photo of women lawmakers in KKK hoods is spreading, and Twitter's refusing to stop it.
Yeah. Good.
You mean like all the memes and shit that people share about other political people that Twitter does nothing about?
Yeah, this woman had no problem when it was the kids from Covington and people were putting them in KKK hoods. But since it's these women in Congress, the subheading is Twitter's own policy states that it does not allow, quote, symbols historically associated with hate groups. And then the bitch goes on to whine because, yeah, somebody made this and Twitter refuses to take it down.
Wait, is that an admission that the women in that picture are that?
Yeah.
Because if that is, then...
Can you guys look into Vic McNaga? He's been fired from everything.
I know that name. Why do I know that?
What was that, Satsu?
The voice actor.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Sexual assault, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember that name. I don't remember what it was that he did voice acting for, but
like
Dragon Ball
actor, I believe.
Oh, okay.
You did Broly, and you'd done somebody else before. We looked into it. Somebody asked us about that a week ago, maybe.
Yeah.
Slovenly says they're porn stars. They aren't known for being shy. Well, that's true, but it does seem weird to me that they're willing to just go on to, every random weirdo. This woman went on with Whitey and Gemini, and I loved Whitey and Gemini. Don't get me wrong, but she went on with Whitey and Gemini. I mean, that's really, really wanting attention because, I mean, Scribe, I'm telling you, all you got to do is tell her you like her titties and she'll come on your show.
Maybe
it's apparently all it takes.
Well,
does anal stuff turn people gay? No.
Unless it does.
Unless you're doing it with a man. We stopped talking about Blackface guy, please. When it falls out of the news again, sure. I mean, we had a major development in the case today.
Don't worry. Some people might not have caught on that we talk about news and current events.
Redheaded porn star, where can I get turned into one? Hollywood, I guess. Do you like Gregorian chant music? No.
Say what?
In the 90s when it was like a fad for about 10 minutes, but really.
Yeah. Do you not know about that, Satsu?
No.
In the 90s for, like Scrap said, like 10 minutes, there was this huge popularity of monk chants.
Huh.
They sold millions and millions of CDs of this shit. No, I was never a fan. Prospero, did you see the WAPO managed to drag the young Trump boy Melania invited to the State of the Union? I did not. What'd they say about the kid? Bully boy named Trump was an honored guest at the State of the Union. He slept through it. Yeah, it was the State of the Union. He's a young kid. Did Trump invited this kid to the State of the Union because his last name is Trump?
He got bullied.
He gets bullied for his last name, which is kind of fucked up. But yeah, the kid. He's a little kid listening to politicians.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be bored.
Which president would you French kiss for 4 seconds? None. They're all dudes.
Well, they didn't say what president of what country.
Okay.
There was this. Was it? It was a South American country. I want to say it was like Brazil or something, which had like this hot like ex model as its president or prime minister or something, whatever the hell it was. And I was just like, I mean, I think she's corrupt as all hell, but if I had to French kiss somebody, it'd be her.
Yeah, none of ours because they're all dudes.
Yeah.
Jean wants to know what we're all doing for Valentine's Day. Well, hopefully Lady Monkey. Well, not all of us, just me.
Yeah.
I realized how that came out.
Yeah, I'm like, you probably want to catch that before that.
I'm not doing anything.
Satsu's going to be coating them walls again.
Maybe. I don't know. Squishy has not decided what she wants to do.
I'm going to be getting pumped for New Dawn because it comes out the next
You're
day.
going to get... Wait, on Valentine's Day, you're going to be getting pumped? I think you got that whole...
Pumped for New Dawn?
You're too late.
I said it all together because I knew somebody was going to be a jackass.
You're going to get pumped for New Dawn. So you're going to prostitute yourself to get that video game? Okay.
You're a whore.
I know.
Little nigga said, I meant that's why people are getting triggered about Blackface. That's not a question, man. And what did you mean about why people are the liberal thing? People get. I don't think most people actually give a fuck. I really don't.
Yeah, most people don't actually care. Like a lot of these instances of these outrage mobs and shit, they don't really care. It's just politically advantageous to pretend to be offended by literally everything. It is a offense as a currency now, and people are fucking spending it like crazy.
Mm-hmm. Scribe Light, what are your thoughts on the spy who shagged me?
Did you file a police report?
I thought it was okay as a sequel, but I still think the first Austin Powers was fine all by itself.
I like the second one better. I just think they introduced more characters and made it a little more fun. Mm-hmm. Top 5 Trump things. Ivanka.
Yeah, I was about to say his hot daughters. That's about it.
The balls on this guy, man.
I don't want to know about his balls.
Metaphorically speaking.
Oh.
Let's see what else. You know what? This is something that made me laugh my ass off. Somebody talking about the speech last night. Like, well, he reads a good speech. I'm like, motherfucker, you used to fall all over yourself about how great a speaker Obama was.
Yeah.
And all he did was read speeches. And now suddenly, there were definitely times in that speech last night where Trump ad-libbed a little bit, and they worked. But yes, he's reading a speech. That's what the fucking presidents do. But no, don't you suddenly pretend that reading a speech is bad. Oh God, what's on a different note? What are your opinions on pineapple on pizza? And no, I'm not talking about the floating drunk head kind.
I do not mind pineapple on pizza.
Yeah, I don't inherently mind it either.
I like pineapple on pizza. I think it's a good contrast.
It's fine. It's not something that I would buy, but if you know somebody's like free pizza, it's pineapple, I'd be like, all right.
Oh, Toasted said, but didn't you say abortion has a racial aspect to it? Yes, but I didn't say all people who support abortion are racists. You have a real problem, dude, with making connections without supporting evidence. Just because A doesn't mean Z.
Yeah, like he jumps to conclusions quite a bit. I'm starting to think Toasted Network is not an elephant but a frog.
Yeah, slow your roll, man. Slow your roll. Somebody, what was that? Green Badger asked the favorite sci-fi weapon, and even as bad as the newer movies have been, the best sci-fi weapon ever is a lightsaber. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, you can't really go wrong with the lightsaber.
It's, I mean, yeah. It was, favorite fictional spaceship. Oh, see, that's a toss up.
Oh, the Event Horizon.
There's three that I love. The Millennium Falcon, the original, not what they did in that new fucking movie.
Yeah.
The Enterprise D, and oh shit, what's the name of it? The one from Mass Effect, the second version, the one you get when you go rogue. Fuck, what's the name of the ship? Somebody will tell me in chat, and that's like way the fuck down because I'm scrolled way up, guys, so I can hang on to the question. So if I'm missing you, I apologize. Let's see. I've encountered SJWs for the first time at school. Any advice?
Ignore them.
Yeah.
Do not engage them. Like just pretend like they don't exist.
Especially in class, you know. I mean, it's not worth the fight, so to speak, if you don't have to.
Especially if you do it in good faith. And that sounds bad. I know that sounds bad. If you do it in good faith, you're setting yourself up to fail because they aren't. And whatever it is they're advocating for, they also support at the same time. So no matter what you argue, they have contradiction on their side. Like it's what they use.
The only exception I'll give you is unless they come after you directly.
Yeah.
Okay. And if they make an accusation against you, don't step back. Don't get defensive. Look them in the eye and say, prove it. Whatever it is, I mean, it's so long as you're not actually guilty of whatever the hell that they're calling it. It could be anything. But, you know, if somebody says you're just being racist or misogynistic, you look them in the eye and say, prove it.
Yep.
And then put it on them to have to explain themselves and not put you on the spot to have to defend yourself.
Mm-hmm.
My advice is similar to that because I do agree with all that. However, I'm going to add the caveat: never put your dick in one.
There's that, yeah, knowingly at least. Yeah, I mean,
do not. Scribe, who is hosting Valentine's Day? Oh, I'm sorry. It says Satsu, Monkey, and Scribe. That'll be on Thursday. So Satsu.
That's Satsu's night.
All right.
Lords of the Night, which porn star would you each invite to the show? Well, let me answer first. I don't know porn stars by name.
Oh.
So I don't know.
Well, if I could have, let's see, Lilith LeVay would be one. Kylie Strutt would be the other. Unfortunately, both of them, so far as I know, are retired, but that doesn't really matter so much. If Nikki Dial or Celeste were even in orbit of anyone anymore, because I think they've been retired for years and decades now. Because those are just four that I can think of.
Everybody knows mine. It's Asa Akira all the time, every time. That won't change.
Monkey, why does everyone hate you tonight? Everyone hates me tonight? That makes me sad.
Monkey, for the record, I've hated you all the time. So
I have one feeling, and they just bruised it.
Well, there you go.
Damn
it. There you go. I hope you guys are happy. You damaged his one fucking feeling.
I have one feeling in his pain, and y'all made it worse. RJ says, "Who wants Duff beer?" I'm not a beer drinker. Even if did they ever make an actual Duff beer?
I think so. As a promotion, I think they did.
I know South Park actually made cheesy poofs, and I had me a bag, and they were good. Yes, press that like button. Is that what you're talking about, Timothy? Not enough likes?
That could be it.
Scrappy says, what did I miss about Gregorian chant? Somebody just asked if we liked him. Wait, shouldn't a French kiss be one you run away from? Oh, I see what you did there, Random. A French kiss would be one you run away. I see. Because they give up. They're cowards. Did humanity get HIV from doing butt sex with a monkey?
It was always the urban legend I heard.
Yeah.
I think there was some. I'm sure there's people out there that know that better than I do. I always heard that there was something to the effect of it could have been something that was mutated in transmission from a monkey bite or scratch or something, but I don't know where the actual origin of it is off the top of my head.
Would it surprise me to find out that some freak butt fucked a monkey? No.
Yeah.
We've read too many stories about people getting their freak on with animals for me to be like, that's impossible. But I have no knowledge of that. Lords of Night, did you celebrate the Chinese New Year? Well, coincidentally, yes, I did by buying stuff on Steam.
I was about to say, we did mention the Steam sale, so yes.
Which is going on. And somebody just told me that, well, they told us a little earlier, 7 Days to Die is on sale.
Oh, nice.
I haven't seen that. But if it is and you guys don't have it and are interested, grab it on sale. I mean, it is totally worth the full price, but if you can get it, yeah, it's $8.99 right now. That's 64% off, y'all. Good game, lots of fun. I've killed many hours, and I've killed months worth of time in that goddamn game. I love Valentine's Day. I'd always give heart-shaped boxes to all the girls in classes. I'm not a fan of Valentine's Day, really not. And I'm really sad about this year, man.
You give heart-shaped boxes. Are you giving away Nirvana albums? What?
The last 2 years, Little Butt has always helped me eat my candy. She'll go, let's have some of your candy. I'm like, okay, let's go have some of my candy. And she'll open it up and she'll take a bite and she'll go, ooh, you can have that one. And then I get the leftovers. Thank you, Jar Jar Binks. Problem is in academia, it's usually accuser's advantage, sadly, to get the social advocates off your back, carry a recorder and be prepared to throw the teacher under the bus. And yes, even in high school, that's carrying a recorder with you is not bad advice these days. And thank you, Diesel Dave. I heard it was from eating monkey brains. I've heard that too.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know. I'm not a scientist. I know you guys look at me and think, wow, he must be the most intelligent man ever. But no, I'm not. The Normandy, thank you. That's the ship in. Somebody said the Serenity. The Serenity is actually a really good ship too. But
yeah,
the SR2 Normandy, that was a badass ship. I love that one. We have finally caught up to where everybody's talking about that. Now we got Enterprise A through E. Well, C was just an Excelsior class, wasn't it? Or was that B? I forget. And D was my favorite. E, they kind of tried to overdo it a little bit.
Yeah.
Recently watched. Oh God.
What?
I'm trying to say this word. Elementary, a movie about a blacksmith and devils. Have any of you seen it?
Who said that?
Quinn the Angry.
Devils. I think me and Squishy just watched something like that.
It's ERREMENTARI. Excuse me, RI.
I think hold on. Was it? Did it have something like there was a little girl in that movie, I think, who ended up bumping into this blacksmith or something like that, and her mother had died or something like her mom had died, and I guess she had created some sin, so everybody was making fun of her, like your mom went to hell. So she actually made a deal with the demon to go, with the demon and the blacksmith to go to hell to find her mom, or some shit. I don't know. It was weird.
Update on the active shooter thing. Reports of an active shooter on campus were a false alarm.
Good to hear.
There you go, guys. Just so you know.
That's it. Okay.
So there you go. Yeah, he saw it. Toasted said not to be homophobic, but why do a lot of people that have AIDS are gay and drug addicts? Because it involves the transmission of AIDS is easiest is through bodily fluids being exchanged. The drug addicts are sharing needles, which they've stuck in each other, so there's blood on the needle. And then with anal sex causes tears in the anus and makes it very easy to introduce bodily fluids. Diesel Dave, thank you. Have you watched Russian Dolls on Netflix yet? No.
No, my sister said it's just Groundhog Day, basically, and I like, okay, well, I've seen Groundhog Day.
What was Khan's ship called? That was badass.
God, I forget.
Khan. I have no idea. Yeah, and in 2, I mean, in Star Trek 2, it wasn't his ship. It was when he took over. I don't remember what his original ship was called. I don't think I've ever seen the original episode. Oh, God, this is Valentine's Day is manipulative tripe. It kind of is.
It is.
Isn't tripe a kind of fish?
I think so.
Thoughts to AOC's response to Trump's comments about socialism. I didn't see her directly comment on that.
She said, I think he's scared or some shit like that.
Of socialism and the results thereof. Yeah, well, you could be, I suppose.
She's an idiot. That's my answer to pretty much everything I've heard from her. And she really is.
Oh, sorry, there was one thing I did say on Twitter today that I thought that they got a really overwhelming response from people. So in an interview with Rachel Maddow, at the end of this little clip I saw, AOC says, of the State of the Union, she says, "Is this a campaign stop or is this a State of the Union?" And I said, all states of the union are campaign stops. Campaigning for the next election, campaigning to affirm the people's faith, campaigning to set one's footprints in the sands of time. Something you'd think even AOC could understand.
But she can't because she's an idiot.
I know.
She understands politics a lot better than her opponents. Remember that.
Oh, yeah. They're trying so hard to make her the Donald Trump of the left. The media is, I mean, that she's just manipulating people, and she's just the greatest troll. No, she's a fucking moron. She's a fucking moron. She says really fucking stupid shit, and then the press comes along and go, she's trolling, and then she says the same stupid shit again because she's not trolling. She's a moron. Toasted Network asks, is Grand Monkey's mother angry at you for buying Grand Monkey a dollhouse? No. Why would my daughter be angry that I bought something for my... First of all, I talk to my daughter before I buy big things for Grand Monkey because it has to go to her house.
Yeah.
But otherwise, she knows I'm going to spoil the shit out of my granddaughter, and she can't stop it, so she can be as angry as she fucking likes, but she's not mad. I've told her that before. We went shopping right before Christmas, and we came back, and my daughter looked at me, Christmas is in 2 weeks. I'm like, it ain't today. Devil Fruit Zero says, shit, I fucked that up. Do you think that Woo's channel, like what Sir Sick does with people that have weird remedies, will be banned on YouTube? Are you talking kind of like conspiracy theory, but not conspiracy theory?
Jilly juice.
Yeah, like Jilly juice kind of shit. Is that what you're talking about? I don't know if they will be. I can see it happening because that's spreading some bad information that can, I don't know if harm people, but if you're taking Jilly juice because you lost an arm and you think it's going to grow back, then you're an idiot. If you're taking it because you think it's going to cure your cancer, then yeah, you're probably killing yourself.
If you lost an arm, you need to inject yourself with a salamander DNA.
Indeed.
If you're taking it because you're constipated, though, you might be.
Yeah. Shlong Dong Millionaire. I fucking love your name, dude. What's your take on Metro Exodus? I'm not familiar.
Oh, I can't wait for that to come out, actually.
Well, save for the fact that the company that made it, was it EA or something? They what was it? They told their so the big scandal is that they had it for sale on pre-order on Steam for the longest time, and then just lickety split without warning. They said, "Oh, we're not going to sell it on Steam anymore. It's only going to be on the Epic Games Store for at least a year." And so the people who pre-ordered on Steam, they'll still get it, I guess, somehow through Steam because they already paid for it and everything.
It's a timed exclusive they're doing.
Yeah, it's a timed exclusive. And I think there was some scandal where somebody at the game studio or whatever basically told everybody who was complaining to shut up or something. And
yeah, he pulled that same shit where he's just like, well, if you guys don't like it, we're just not going to put it on Steam at all.
Right.
And, the company had to come out like, he's a fucking idiot. Please don't listen to him.
Yeah.
So that was a thing that happened that I was going to comment on. I do want to play that, and I'm probably still going to get it regardless of where they release it. But yeah, that was a shit show and a half.
Little nigga says, I'm terrible in Steam. God damn it. Like I only have one game I played. I suck massive balls on that. Get more games. Get better. Get good, man. Get good, motherfucker. Toasted Network says, because I know many parents get angry over this stuff. Yeah. My daughter can get as angry as she likes it, and I'm still gonna spoil the fuck out of my grandchild. Is RBG close to dead yet? Yeah. I mean, she's old. Is she dying? I don't know. She was at a fundraiser, not a fundraiser, a political event the other night. She didn't go to the. Did you see that a lot of the justices didn't go to the State of the Union?
Oh,
and no, there were several who didn't, and there was they're boycotting it, and no, they're not. What happened was they had planned their calendars for the original speech. And when that fell through, I mean, they still have other things that they had scheduled. One of them had a speaking engagement overseas, I believe. I want to say it was Soder. So, how do you say his name? Suter. But yeah, there were, because of the change in timing, yeah, it screwed it up. So several of the justices couldn't go. Ruth probably couldn't go because they didn't have the strings set up right. Can you bring your stalker on stream? Why would I do that?
Just for fun.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
No, because that would be a horrible conversation. It would just be me calling her a stalker over and over again. Have you guys seen the trailer for Stories to Tell in the Dark? I saw the little one that they did on the Super Bowl, but that's it.
It's Guillermo del Toro doing like horror that pre-teens presumably can watch, which is kind of a weird concept given how safety and emotionally insulated kids are these days. So it'll be interesting to see how that does.
Schlong Dong Millionaire. Do you guys think Antifa bringing guns into protests and stuff will lead to a civil war? No. I think it could lead to some of them getting killed.
Yeah.
I love how these anti-gun people are just, we need these to prove that people don't need these.
I think if Antifa brings guns into one of these protests and actually pulls them out, no, it won't start a civil war. Civil war would require the military to be split, and that's not going to happen. Instead, what will happen is they're going to get shot. They'll get shot and killed, and we'll have to hear about how sad it was that this asshole brandishing a firearm got killed.
Well, the really unfortunate part about that is, even though this might be the cynical side of me speaking, is unfortunately, I think that's what they're hoping for. Because that girl who died, that got hit by that car, that was one of the best things that could ever happen for them. Like that, they loved that shit. They was like, holy fuck, we went to this thing to shut them down, and somebody died. It was a necessary sacrifice, so we're gonna use her death to fucking prove all kinds of shit. And ever since she died, that is the number one point that they bring up, is like a person was killed even though she shouldn't have been there. And there's a whole bunch of things that set up to where people were surrounding the car. The dude was trying to get the fuck where he was trying to go. There was a whole bunch of things that was included in that, but her dying was one of the best things that could have ever happened for them. So I think that's what they're hoping for. They're like, fuck yeah. I mean, if one of us ends up getting shot and killed, I mean, I'm sorry you're dead, but this works for us.
Martyr, yeah. Thank you, Diesel Dave. Tripe. Noun, number one, the first or second stomach of a cow or other ruminant used as food. Two, informal nonsense rubbish.
Tripe. Yeah, that's like a cow's stomach or some shit.
Cow, not fish.
I thought there was a fish called a tripe. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Anyway.
What is your favorite Simpsons episode? Oh, God, I don't know. There's so many. Do you know how many Simpsons episodes there are? There's like 30 seasons.
Yeah.
Even if there's only 20 in a season, that's 600 episodes. And aren't there, it's like, what, 22 to 25 in a season? Yeah, I have no idea. I like The Simpsons, but I couldn't name you a favorite episode. Oh, man. It's top of the hour coming up here.
Yep.
Faithless says tilapia, Scribe?
No, I guess for some reason I had in my mind that it was the name of a fish, but it's not. So I was mistaken.
There you go. And with that, guys, we're going to wrap this one up. Thank you so much for coming and joining us, hanging out tonight, chatting with us as you always do. You guys are amazing, and I love you. Thank you so much for the donations. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate those. You guys are so very generous, and you're awesome. You're just fucking awesome. Don't forget to come over and watch us on 2 Cents Plus. We'll be playing on the open server tonight. If you have 7 Days to Die on Steam, you can join us. The information is in the Discord. That is right after this show. And by the way, I keep forgetting to do this. This is 2 Cents Plus, the number 2 Cents Plus, all one word though. Scribe, Satsu, thank you both for joining me tonight. As always, it's so much fun talking with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, your lives make us sad. We will see you next time on Satsu's channel tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.